Yeah, much regards to you watching me out there. My name is Fandov Azike Azike. Today I will be talking on the subject matter, the basic knowledge for political aspirants. Very, very important. However, if today is your very first time of seeing my teachings, please consider to subscribe. When you subscribe, you will learn more of political education that are not taught in their various schools, or that you are not practically exposed to. As well, you will discover the secrets, the instructions, and the principles of great men and women of all times. Also share to your friends. Like the video, it will also help. Above all, click the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new teaching, you can always get notified. Thank you very much. Without wasting much of our time, the subject matter, the basic knowledge for political aspirants. In order to prepare our mind, as well remind us that the most difficult task on this planet Earth is the management of human beings. Is the most difficult task. And today, the society we find ourselves can only be called a society, or is called society because of the inhabitants, the people living in that society. And if people are not properly coordinated, the life of man will be miserable, nasty. At the same time, anarchy will be the order of the day. So the most difficult task is the management of man. So the management of man can only be entrusted to people who understand or have the basic knowledge. When you hand over such management to people that fail to understand the basic skills, the society will end up in chaos. So today, who manage the society? Who wants to allocate the values in the society? How, when, and where? That is where politics comes into effect. So politics supposed or is what? An idea, intellectual debate or exchange of idea, at the same time the authoritative allocations of values. Who gets what, when, and how? So people who work around the clock today to make sure they control and allocate all this as mentioned are called the politicians. So when you become a politician, you are trying to control. You are trying to manage the resources, both human resources. You must have some basic and fundamental knowledge for you to perform. So one of the knowledge you who aspire to become an aspirant, you must discover yourself. That is the first assignment for you to manage human being, for you to manage the collective resources of humanity. You must discover yourself. How do you discover yourself? You must discover yourself by what? Succeeding as an individual. You must conquer yourself. You must discover your purpose. You must have a clear vision. You must have a proof. You must have the ability for you to declare that you can solve other people's problem. If you have not succeeded on your individual capacity, if you have not discovered the essence of your existence, if you have no vision, if you have no proof and evidence, you have no business to aspire to acquire such a sensitive position, because you end up making the life of the citizens miserable, which is against the aim of the government, which is to promote and protect the happiness of humanity. So if you have not succeeded on individual capacity, you have no proof, you have not discovered yourself, you have no business with a political position. It's because such position is to solve problems, is to attend to responsibilities. That is one. You must discover yourself. You must conquer yourself. Another knowledge is the geography. When I mean geography, I am talking of the location, the vicinity, the environment, your constituency. You should be able to define or identify the environment you want to manage or represent. You should be able to know the population, the statistics. You should be able to know the number of polling stations or units in the geographic location known as constituency. You should be able to know their numerical strength, their population. If you don't have all this knowledge, you are not fit to aspire to acquire such position, because you cannot be able to allocate the resources without the knowledge of the geography, which includes the population. If you don't have such a knowledge, you are not fit. You are not suited for such population, for such position. You must understand the geography. You must have the knowledge of the population, the inhabitants of that locality. You must know the polling units and stations. You must have their numbers, the population strength, the voting strength. If you don't know such, you are not fit. Another fundamental knowledge: you must understand how to engage public participation. If you don't understand the principle or the art of public engagement or participation, because public participation is part of the political process that includes or brings a very good cooperation. If you really want to succeed, you must understand the art of public participation and engagement. You must have a very close link whereby you interact with the people and unfold for them to look into your vision, your capacity, at the same time make their input. But if you lack such vision, if you lack such ability, you cannot run an inclusive government. You cannot carry out people's opinion. You can only act on the opposite. And on such, you are not fit to aspire to occupy such public office. If really you want to aspire for a political position, you must understand. Another fundamental knowledge is competence. You need competence. The business of man, the management of man, is not meant for half-baked individuals. You must prove your competence in some areas of life. Because politics is all inclusive. It's so wide that you need competence in a particular discipline. If you have succeeded in managing most of your business on the area of your discipline, it will prove and ensure that you can as well succeed and begin to collaborate. You begin to deploy the service of other professionals to make the business of government result-oriented. If you have no competence, you have not proved yourself, you have no business to aspire to acquire the position that have to do with humanity, because you will cause more harm to the people. You will abuse the system. If really you actually want to occupy position of leadership or corridor of power, you need knowledge. You need to acquire knowledge. This knowledge must not be a college certificate or a degree, but you need knowledge. This knowledge can be acquired through political education, like what we are doing at the moment. You can as well acquire this knowledge through political participation and socialization. Above all, you will ask questions, especially through those who have already occupied such positions, to mentor you. Ask imparting questions that will help you to make an informed decisions or from your manifestos. When you begin to interact with the incumbents or leaders or statesmen, you begin to have knowledge. You can as well walk into the state or federal legislative chambers to observe the transactions, the proceedings of the legislative activities. You can lay hands on government and information copies, handbooks, to increase your knowledge. If you have no such ability or desire to seek for these informations, you are not fit to manage. You are not fit to perform. You only go there to abuse the process. If really you want to aspire to a position of leadership, you need to acquire knowledge. if you really, really want to aspire, you must help others who are in leadership position to achieve good result. You must be supportive. You must join them to make sure the activities succeed. In the course of that, you are already being exposed on how the government is being run. You cannot sit down in the comfort of your home and the comfort of your sanctuary only to wake up in the morning and begin to mobilize people that you want to lead them without having some basic knowledge. You will end up destroying the society. You will end up destroying the system. That is not the aim of the government. Above all, you must have conscience, because government without conscience is a robbery. Thank you very much. Till we meet in the next class. Bye for now.